Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to head over into game number 1 between Liquid Chef and Mouz Nova. No, that's not Mouz Nova. That's Biggs. It's going to be a ZVZ to start things off. I do want to give a special thanks to the people that have made this possible because they forgot to do it in the pre-show. It is going to be Azo Monitors, iBuyPower Computers, Kingston HyperX, and Cooler Master. So a big thanks to them for making this possible. But here we go, ZVZ starting us off on Artifice.
Exactly, and for Mousesports we have Biggs. It's the player from Switzerland that joined Mousesports a while ago. He's kind of one of their, I didn't really want to say B players because it always sounds a little bit disrespectful, but it's one of the players who still has to prove himself a bit. They added another one, a very young talent from Germany recently called Hero Marine, and those two players, they are in Mousesports and they have a lot of potential and they are really good, but they still have to show that they can compete with the best out there. And so we'll see if Biggs is able to take on Sheth. Sheth, the Mana Bear, opened with a very nice statement. Once again, I have nothing but respect for your Zerg. Have fun, good luck, sir.
Well, Sheth is the super Mana Bear of Mana Bears. He is the US version of White Raw. Just Zerg version.
I've never heard it put that way. But yeah, you're probably right.
He is, man. He's like super supportive. But you know what? I do have to say that I will agree with you to an extent. Biggs is definitely one of the, I would say, B teams, and that's not to take anything away from his skill. It's just when you're in a team with players like Morrow, like Mana, like Hasuabs, like Thorzane, you know, I mean, the probability is you're going to be on the B team most likely, just because their skill level is way above the majority of all foreigners. Like I can't mention a lot of foreigners that, you know, can even compete with them. There's maybe, you know, 10, 20 foreigners, if that. So, you know, to be on the same team with them, I think is quite hard. You're gonna live in their shadows a little bit, but hopefully he displays something good here, because Liquid Chef is definitely the type of player that is not the B team of Team Liquid.
Definitely. And well, Sheth is now getting his second gas. We start with a little bit of okay, going for the extractor trick for the overgas. I was already surprised. I was like, why the hell would he take a second extractor right now? But we have a little bit of a different opening into this game. Sheth starting with gas and pool, while we have a hatch first for Biggs, which is definitely something that he can get away with on a 4-player map. So there is just no problem for Biggs to actually pull it off. He will have a slight advantage in economy because he has his hatch a little bit earlier, and of course he also has his second queen a little bit earlier than Sheth will have his.
Yeah, so it's going to be up to Sheth to do just a little bit of pressure to bait a couple more Zerglings. Hopefully some indirect damage will be done. Just normally what I mean by that is just an over production of Zerglings. That way you just get that little drone advantage. Make up for the larva lost. Maybe just one larva, just because the queen will inject a little bit sooner, but not a big deal. I think things should play out pretty standard. Wow, look at that, 14 Zerglings in production. Baneling nest going down for Biggs. So we can definitely see the regular dynamics of speed Zergling opening against defensive Banelings. That's a lot of times what we see.
It's going to be a pretty nice game. Biggs already with a very nice move when he actually used the drone to build an extractor and cancel it again to save it. But he saw all the Zerglings, so he knows what's coming. He knows exactly what's coming. And it's kind of interesting to note that both players have roughly the same statistics when it comes down to the CVZ. They both are roughly at 56 to 58%. So they're evenly matched when it comes down to statistics. But now with that attack, with all the Zerglings streaming in, Sheth is taking the initiative, and will Biggs hold?
The queens are blocking the ramp. There goes the cocoons, but I think the queens are going to die. Oh no, the rallied Zerglings were actually not attacking from that natural. The queens will go down, both of them, and that's going to spell disaster. That's a lot of larva production. If Sheth can hold on and trade efficiently against these Banelings, he'll be really, really good. But there you go. Oh, a nice Baneling hit. Kills
that was
6
a good
Zerglings.
One. And he I didn't really see if there was another link that killed that last Baneling, or if he detonated that manually, but he lost another Baneling just there. Now morphing additional ones, getting more and more zerglings at the same time. Shath is building a Baneling nest on his own, and a Spine Crawler trying to protect his own base with a little bit of a static defense. And we have 24 to 23 Harvesters, roughly the same amount of units. That's a pretty nice opening.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit aggressive there, I like that.
Yep, Sheth actually ahead in this case just because he has the queens over his opponent. His opponent is making, or Biggs rather, is making 2 queens as we speak. Sheth now is in defensive Baneling mode. He can just prepare for any sort of huge aggression. You can see a lot of Banelings being merged at this point. And Biggs is just waddling on over here, but I don't think this will do much. 5 Banelings against 7. As long as he gets a good hit with these 2 Banelings, there you go, trade 2 for 2. But he has to be careful with these drones. If the drones actually detonate...
That was awesome. Wow, well done. He killed 4 of them. Killed 4 drones, and 3 of them are really heavily injured, but they will heal over time. Shath so far did a good job at defending, but that was a small slip up. You mentioned it already, he was in a better position just because of the 2 queens that died, so a lot more lava for Biggs, and he's now on 30 to 28 harvesters, and the harvester count is just so important when it comes down to ZVZ and mirror matchups in particular.
Oh yeah, things will stabilize quite a bit right now. Knowing that Baneling trades have happened, Roach switches can't really happen as much. The big thing that both these players need to do is actually check the drone count. Whoa, Sheth! You are playing so cheeky.
Whoa.
Look at this, a 3rd base going down. This is not standard play at all.
No, definitely not.
And it's spotted. That's very important to know. Biggs actually can see this with an Overlord, so what does he actually do? He takes his own 3rd. Holy crap! This EVZ is crazy, Khaldor.
Going for his own 3rd, and Biggs is getting +1 attack, so he's going for Roaches now, and if +1 finishes, then the Roaches will be able to 2-shot a Zergling. So let's see how Sheth is going to react to this. The Banelings will kill... Oh, nice. Did you see that move by Biggs? Very well done. He was actually baiting a couple of Zerglings to attack that Banelings. Oh, so that he could kill more Zerglings, and now trading 3 for 2. That's also a very nice trade in favor of Biggs, but Sheth is still a little bit ahead in supply.
Yep, now Sheth is putting a little bit of aggression on his opponent. His Evolution Chamber and Roachhorn is quite behind. Oh, the bait! Oh, wow! That was super close. Has to be careful for that, but you know, I like where Biggs has gone with this. He's actually gone for the earlier +1 and Roachhorn. That will enable him to defend against any incoming pressure a lot earlier than his opponent. So at this point, he's looking really good. You can see some exchanges up here not really going to be too fruitful for Sheth. He's trying to detonate as many Banelings as possible, but it's just not working out for him. Just the defensive posture of his opponent is just way too strong.
Sheth is getting a lot of drones now, and if Biggs would attack with +1, then he would be in a really good position, because he can just kill all the lings of his opponent with just 2 hits, and so far Sheth doesn't have any roaches either. Both of them are now trying to get that +1 attack upgrade, but Sheth is far behind. But attacking the 3rd base of Biggs, and I think that 3rd will die. Biggs is sacrificing his hatchery.
I don't know why he actually did. I think he could have saved it if he sent over the Zerglings, but no, he's not going to do that. Loses the 3rd. Okay, he's going to counter his opponent. The drones are actually mining over here. The drones need to be pulled off. There they go. The hatchery is going to be focused down. Now he needs to get down this hatchery in order to equalize, because his opponent has taken down his own 3rd. So if he can do that, he'll be in a good position. But, you know, I don't know if I love this completely. The hatchery, it looks like it might go down. Sheth is barely defending this. Banelings finally popping up, but there are roaches over here. Will they be enough? Yes, they will. 2-shotting each Baneling very easily. The Banelings have to back up. And wow, Sheth will hold. He holds the 3rd, giving him a very nice advantage. If he can actually mine from that, that'll be very good. But for now, Biggs has the +1 advantage. As you were talking about, that'll be so pivotal as he goes and pushes on to his opponent.
But Biggs is losing his momentum. He lost his third and he was trying to counter-attack, but Sheth, as you already mentioned, was able to hold that third base, and that was crucial. The +1 is already done for Biggs, but he is just waiting way too long, and Sheth will be able to get his +1 just in time. So I'm not too sure if that was really the best decision that Biggs made. You mentioned it earlier, he might have just been able to secure that third base if he tried to, but now he tries to rebuild it, and Sheth is now far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive position that Sheth has taken is just superior to his opponents. Now +1 is equalized. So, you know, of course, Sheth does have his own +1 just in a couple of seconds, I should say. But having equal upgrades, now you've negated all advantages that you've ever had. So Biggs right now is behind just because of the economy. You can see a couple of zerglings just poking around into the main. Income tab, let's go ahead and check that out. 62,243. And the expansion, as we were talking about, for Sheth is just yielding so many minerals. So you can see just about almost double his opponent's mineral count. That income will prove to materialize very nicely into that army composition. We're going to see Sheth just blow up in the amount of supply.
And Sheth is now on 80 army supply against 64, 68 against 64 right now because he lost a few of his zerglings. And now there's the attack of Sheth. Both are on +1, both are researching burrow and speed for the roaches. 144 total supply against 117. Sheth waiting, just waiting for the right time to attack, but he is not quite sure where to approach his opponent. Now there's the fight, and the spine crawler is caught out of position, walking over to the expansion. Banelings detonate into roaches, and now it's a roach fight. We have in total 27 against 18 in favor of Sheth, and it looks like the Team Liquid play is going to take this game.
Yeah, there's no doubt he will not be stopped. Sheth is pushing forward, going to deny this third yet again. The spine crawler is not going to be enough. Even if it gets up here, the roach count is just dwindling. Additional units just streaming in from Sheth with the power of all of his bases put together. His macro is being so consistent. He's keeping it low, and that's going to do it. GG, well played, comes out. Sheth will take game number 1 in this Team Liquid versus Mouz clan war. So really nice play by Sheth, but I do have to just, you know, ask if Biggs' decision to counter that third was the optimal one. Now, I can understand where he's coming from. Because this is such an open map, the hatchery was so low. Even if he went back to defend it, maybe it'd be at 300 health. It's so easy to just go in there with a couple of zerglings, banelings, roaches, whatever it might be, snipe that hatchery and get out of there. So he could be like, well, it's going to die anyway later on. I might as well just give it up and attack the third. That's definitely like a very, you know, logical stance on where not defending that would be and going for the counterattack. But still, it's like, you know, the possibilities, what if, yada yada. But overall, I think Sheth is the one that played that so well ever since the beginning.
Yeah, he did very well, and you mentioned the crucial point. When Sheth was able to hold that third base while killing the third base of Biggs, the game turned in his favor, and from that point on, he didn't make any mistakes that Biggs could capitalize on, and therefore took the game, and therefore the first point for Team Liquid.
Yeah, and I think if Biggs instead didn't go for that third after he lost it and just went for the timing push, which he did have a pretty big timing, I think he had somewhere around 60 to 80 seconds, which is a minute to a minute and a half of when his opponent didn't have +1 and he did. If he pushed there, I think it would have been a really advantageous for him. He could have taken down probably the third if he just kept massing, but allowing Sheth to just mass up in those drones, materialize off of that third, proved to be very disadvantageous for him, and that's why you see just the macro, the overwhelming macro by Sheth, just devouring his opponent. So a nice win for Team Liquid. They're going to be up 1-0 in this clan war. We're going to be moving over to our second game in a little bit after this break. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Team Liquid versus Mouz coming up after this break.